People say your brain can switch to autopilot. You walk, talk, even drive. And then suddenly, you just arrive. No memory of how. Like you skipped time. I thought it was just a weird thing brains did. A glitch. Not something that could hurt you. Not something that could follow you. It was a Friday. Long hours, endless traffic. By the time I got home, I felt hollow. Like I had been poured out. I woke up in my bed the next day. No memory of the drive. Just there. Safe. Alive. And then my phone buzzed. A message lit up my screen. Your appointment with the pediatrician is confirmed. 11:30 a.m. today. I blinked. A pediatrician? I don't have kids. Never did. I thought it was spam. But it had my full name. My ID. My health provider. It was real. I checked my phone logs. No calls. But in my browser history, one search stood out. How to stop bleeding from a child's head injury. My mouth went dry. My hands shook. I stared at the screen, willing it to vanish. It didn't. I ran to the mirror. Bruises on my arms. A scrape on my forehead. Nothing serious. But nothing I remembered. My stomach turned. I tried to recall the night before. Flashes came. Highway lights. A voice on the radio. Then black. But then, a face. A boy's face. Blood near his temple. Big white eyes. He reached for me. And I just stood there. Doing nothing. Watching. He looked scared. I looked away. Then silence. I bolted to my car. It was parked outside. Front bumper, dented. And something on it. Dark red. Sticky. Blood? I backed away. Called the police. They found nothing. No reports. No missing child. No crash. Just me. The cops came fast. I told them everything. They looked at me like I was tired or lying. They took photos. Tested the bumper. Nothing matched any known case. They left with a shrug. But I knew. Something had happened. And it wasn't over. I checked the street cams. Nothing. Footage skipped. Just static for hours. No cars. No boy. Like time folded in on itself. Like I never even left the house. But I did. I know I did. I remember the scream. Even if I shouldn't. I told myself I imagined it. Stress. Sleep deprived. But I saw the bruises again. Purple. Fading slow. Too real to ignore. And then that night, the lights flickered. Once. Then twice. Then off. When they came back on, he was there. On my couch. Still. So small. His head tilted. Eyes black, hollow. Blood still fresh by his ear. And he was looking at me. Right at me. Like he knew me. I blinked. Gone. I rushed over. Cushion warm. Like something had just been there. No footprints. No sound. Only silence thick enough to choke. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? He was in the dark. And the dark was everywhere. I started locking every door. Even inside the house. But each morning, they were open again. All of them. Windows too. I never heard a sound. But I'd wake up. Cold. Breath misting in the air. Like something had been watching me. Breathing close.
He stopped driving, stopped working. People said he was sleeping. Maybe he was, but every time he sat still, I could feel him there, like he never left the classroom, like I brought him here. And now, he is waiting for something, but he don't take no what.
I started hearing whispers. Soft. Right behind me. Never words. Just breath. Like a voice trying to break through water. I'd spin around, nothing. Every time. But the sound followed me. Through rooms. Through walls. Through dreams. The couch became his seat. Every night at 11:30. Same time as that doctor's appointment. I'd find the indent. Fresh. Like a small body just sat down. One night, I left a camera. It caught only static. But the timestamp showed movement. 12 seconds of it. I paused the clip, frame by frame. For one moment. Just one. His face flashed. Pale. Mouth open. Eyes black pits. Not blinking. Not human. Like something wore the boy's shape. But didn't understand how to be him. I tried to burn the couch. Dragged it outside. Poured gas. Lit a match. But the flames died. Just choked. Like the air refused to burn. The couch stayed cold. Dry. As if it belonged to someone else now. Someone stronger than fire. I started seeing him everywhere. Shadows too small. Mirrors too deep. His handprints on the fog glass after showers. One night, I opened the fridge. And all the food inside was gone. Just one note. Child's handwriting. It said, still hungry. I searched for news. Reports. Anything. No missing kids that matched. No crashes. No ghosts. Nothing. It's like the world refused to remember him, like only I could, or should, and maybe that was the punishment. I asked a priest. He didn't laugh, didn't blink, just said, if something's feeding on memory, don't give it more. But it was too late. I remembered everything now, even what I didn't want to, even what I didn't do, or did. I began questioning what was mine. Thoughts, memories, movements. Sometimes I'd wake up with dirt under my nails, or mud on my shoes. Once, a child's sock in my coat pocket. I live alone. No visitors. No kids. Not anymore, anyway. I stopped trusting reflections. One night, brushing my teeth, my mirror self smiled first. Before I did, I dropped the brush and ran. But I saw him, that boy, standing in the hallway behind me, not moving, just waiting. The lights started blinking in patterns. I filmed it, brought it into software. It translated into Morse code. 2 words, repeated again and again. Help me. But I didn't know how, or who he was, or if he even was human. I tried therapy. I told the truth. The shrink listened, said nothing. Then, on the 5th session, he asked, "Do you still see the boy with the cracked skull?" I never told him about the skull. I never said a word. I left and never went back. Sleep left me. Nights stretched. I'd hear footsteps in the ceiling, but I lived on the top floor. Once, I climbed into the attic, found handprints in the dust, tiny, fresh, and a trail leading to a wall where there shouldn't have been a door. I pushed. The wall creaked open. Behind it, a room. No windows. No lights. Just a toy train on the floor, and a smell like rust and old teeth. I backed out, closed it, nailed it shut, but the nails were gone by morning. I tried to leave the city, packed everything. Car started fine, but every turn I took led me back home. Street signs twisted, gas drained. By nightfall, I was back in my driveway, and he was sitting on the steps, smiling. I didn't get out of the car. I couldn't. He just sat there, knees pulled up, head tilted. His eyes weren't angry. They looked empty, like he wasn't waiting for me, just existing, like I was the one in his world now. And he knew it. I slept in the car, but at 3:12 a.m., the horn blasted. I hadn't touched it. Then the radio turned on, crackling static, and under it, a whisper. Let me finish. I turned it off, but the message stayed in my head. What did he mean? Next day, I walked through the house, room by room, felt eyes behind every wall. I opened a drawer. Inside was a child's crayon drawing, a red car, a bent street lamp, and a stick figure under the wheels. Next to it, my name in shaky letters. I dropped it, looked up. The couch was full again. The boy's back to me, but this time, he was whispering something, repeating, over and over. I leaned closer and heard it clear. I showed you mercy. I screamed. Threw the TV at the couch. It shattered, but when the glass hit the floor, there was no boy, just that same spot, indented, still warm, like he'd just moved, but not far, maybe just behind me. I tried to call my sister. I needed someone, anyone, but when she picked up, she said, "You called last night." I hadn't. She continued, "You said he forgave you." I dropped the phone. I don't even remember dialing. And who did I mean by he? I stopped eating, stopped talking. The boy didn't leave. But now, I heard 2 sets of steps at night. One light, one heavy. I thought maybe it was him, and whatever had followed him, or whatever sent him, and it was getting closer. I started marking the walls, just to be sure. Little scratches, one for each hour I survived. But every morning, they were gone, replaced by childlike drawings. Stick figures holding hands. One tall, one small, and always the shadow behind them. The boy wasn't alone anymore. I felt it. Something bigger moved when he did. I saw it once, reflected in the TV. A tall figure, no face, standing over him, like it was guarding him, or using him, or waiting for him to finish me. I stopped sleeping, but one night I blinked too long and woke up in the hallway, naked, hands covered in dirt, a trail of red footprints behind me, to the basement, where I swore I'd never go. The door was open. The stairs were wet. At the bottom, a crib, old, rotten, and inside, my driver's license, bent, burned at the edges, and beneath it, a note. You brought him home. Now raise him. I ran, back upstairs, locked every door, smashed every mirror. But the house didn't care. Walls stretched when I looked too long. Corners pulsed. Time shifted. He was remaking this place. turning it into his own memory, and trapping me inside it. The boy began whispering more. Names I didn't know, but one name I recognized. Emily, my ex. She died in a crash 2 years ago. They said I fell asleep at the wheel, but I never remembered it. What if it wasn't just sleep? What if it was him? Now he speaks through other things. The TV, my phone, even my own voice in the shower. One night, I heard myself say, "You're the doorway, not a victim, not even a man, just a door," and he was using me to come through. After that night, I stopped hearing the boy, but I never felt alone. Instead, I felt watched from inside, like my thoughts had eyes. My hands twitched on their own. I'd black out for minutes. Once, I woke up whispering to the dark, "He's almost ready." I nailed every window shut, piled furniture against the doors, but the house sighed, like it was tired of pretending. Paint peeled in long, curling strips. The walls bled sap. Or was it blood? Hard to tell. Everything inside me said, "Don't look in the mirror." But I did, and the reflection smiled first again. This time, it stayed smiling, even when I cried, even when I screamed. Then it raised its hand, slowly, and wrote in the fog, "You are not awake yet." I tried to scream again, but my voice didn't come from me. It came from behind me, mocking, repeating, like I was an echo, like I was the memory now, and he was what remained. The boy didn't need a body. He just needed a home. I read old articles, dug deep, found a crash 17 years ago. Same street, same date. A boy died, unidentified, hit and left behind. Witnesses claimed the driver kept going, as if on autopilot, never looked back. The face sketch. It wasn't mine, but the eyes were. Exactly, like I'd inherited something, or someone. Maybe I didn't hit him. Maybe I was driven to him, chosen, wired from birth to carry him forward, to bring him home. Now, when I sleep, I dream in reverse. I undrive the road, undo the blood, unsee the boy. But every morning, I wake up one step closer to his voice. And last night, he whispered in my ear, "Only 2 steps left." I started walking at night. No coat, no shoes, just pulled forward. By what? I didn't know. Streetlights blinked out as I passed. Dogs wouldn't bark. Cars didn't stop. And somewhere deep behind my ribs, a second heartbeat had started. I followed the hum. Low, mechanical, like an engine idling in the dark. Then I saw it. My car, still dented, still red, running, keys in the ignition, door open, no driver, but music playing, a lullaby. I climbed in without thinking. The seat adjusted itself. Mirrors shifted. The wheel turned. Then, a whisper through the speakers. "Drive me home." I asked, "Where's home?" No answer, just static, and the car started moving. I tried the brakes. Nothing. Doors locked. Windows sealed. The city blurred past. Streets I didn't know, or didn't remember. Then the forest. Tall, black, silent, and something waiting at the end of the road. The boy sat in the middle of the path, facing me, smiling. No blood now, just eyes too old for his face. He raised his hand, and behind him, shapes moved. Tall, thin, crooked. They swayed like trees in wind I couldn't feel. The car stopped on its own. The doors unlocked, and the radio said, "1 step left." I got out, legs shaking, but I moved forward. The boy stepped aside, pointed at something. A hole in the ground, too round, too deep. Breathing. I looked in, and saw myself, sleeping, peaceful, younger, still clean, still free. Then he whispered, "Jump, and I'll let him go." I turned to ask who, but the boy was gone, and the forest was crawling with voices. The voices grew louder. Some screamed, some begged. One just kept saying my name, over and over, like it owned it. The hole pulsed with heat, but also cold, like it was outside time, like falling in would mean, not dying, but being rewritten. I took a step forward. The ground felt soft, too soft, like skin. It breathed under me. I looked down again. My other self was awake now, staring up, mouth moving. I read his lips. Don't trust him. Then his face dissolved. Something touched my back. Not a hand, a presence, filling my spine with ice. It didn't speak, but I knew what it wanted. I was never supposed to walk away that night. It had been waiting for the return trip. I wasn't the driver, just the delivery. I turned around. No forest, no trees, just white, endless, empty, and a boy, standing beside an open door. Old wood, creaking on its own. He nodded and whispered, "You were always meant to bring it back." I backed away, but there was no edge now. Just space. Limitless. And the door behind me. Closer than it should be. Its hinges groaned. It was opening. But not by me. Not by anyone. Something was coming through. I saw glimpses. Not shapes. Not beings. Just ideas and skin. Things with faces like mine. But twisted. Curious. Hollow. And all of them whispered in sync. You left the door open. And I realized I never learned how to close it. Now I'm back. In my house. The couch is empty. The lights don't flicker. No bruises. No whispers. But every clock is stuck at 11:30. And when I blink too long, I see him again. Smiling. Still waiting. And behind him, the door is still wide open.